Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Residency Match Insiders. And I am Jonathan Munoz. And tonight we're going to talk about what we discussed during the second meeting for interview preparation. And the topics were the question about weakness and the question about what are you bringing to the program, what makes you special, what makes you set you apart from the flock, and how to research your attendings, the ones that are going to interview you. Okay, so let's start with this, with the weakness part. With the weakness question, which is always asked, like, tell me what are your weaknesses, tell me what are you working on. And this question, it's simple, but it can break people because a lot of you are working on the answer for this question being the same that we see all the time. The same is a strength that you're trying to make pass as a weakness, and it's not that we know that that's what people are going to do, but take this opportunity to find an answer to this question, an answer that it's something that you work very hard on and then you have overcome, and now it lives inside you, but you have learned how to deal with it. Now you have learned how to use this on your favor. Okay, so the a couple of examples, okay, so you can just go from there. One is shyness. Most doctors or most healthcare professionals will relate to shyness, and this is important that you can find something that people will relate to. So shyness, you can say that during medical school, I was a shy person, a very shy person, but through repetition, through practice, through a lot of investigation, when the time came for me to to make a presentation or to talk in front of people, through all the effort I put into this presentation, I was able to feel comfortable discussing a topic. Now, deep inside, I'm still a shy person, but I believe that all this preparation through medical school have brought me to this point, and it just takes for me to prepare very well for my presentations, to prepare very well to see my patients or to discuss about my patients, to feel comfortable with the information I'm providing or discussing in favor of my patients. And that's it. That's it. See how you said a couple of things. You said that you were shy, you were very shy, a shy person, introverted, and through repetition, through practice, through being forced to be out there, you develop, or you were able to manage that shyness and do what you had to do. Now, you also said in this answer, you also said that I'm in my core, deep inside me, I'm still a shy person, but when the time comes for me to do something that calls for action, I do it. And I think that the important thing here that you mentioned is that you do a lot of investigation, a lot of research, a lot of preparation on the topics that you're going to present. Why? Because in medicine, there is a lot of talking. There's a lot of talking to patients, families, consultants. There's a lot of presentations. You have to present cases, grand rounds. And guess what? Not many people want to do grand rounds. Why? Because it involves you going into an auditorium, presenting to 200 people. And we want people that are able to do these presentations. Every month, every week, we ask, hey, is someone willing to do a case report or do a presentation on diabetes? And no one raised their hand. So we have to choose and force it. And we hope that we don't have to do that, but every year is the same. No one wants to do it. Why? Because all of them are shy. All of them are shy. They don't want to go through the effort of preparing a topic and being judged on what they're presenting. Yeah, so think about it. and see how you can use it. If that could be your answer. The during the last season or last meeting, someone said, "Well, what about saying that my weakness is that I don't trust people?" Um, Remember, the answer to the question cannot be just a simple sentence. It has to be something that is prepared. It's a the answer plus the explanation of the answer, something simple. So, for example, I don't trust people sounds bad, right? And I'm pretty sure that that's not what you want to convey, that you don't trust people. I'm pretty sure that what you try to say is that it is hard for you to trust your patients to others to take care of them as good as you are doing. Now, that's a bad thing because in medicine, internal medicine, family practice, pediatrics, you will only be working from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and after 7 p.m. someone will take over your patients from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So you can go and sleep, right? So you're not going to be awake all day long to see your patients. So it's very hard when you're a very involved doctor. It's very hard to trust your patients to someone else. Someone else that's not as invested as you are in that patient or whatever, right? So the thing is that this could be your weakness. You could say, at the beginning, when I started practicing medicine, it was very hard for me to pass on my patients to the people that were relieving me from my duties. With time and after getting to know the people I was working with, I was able to let them know what I was doing for my patients that day, what was pending to do, and giving them this very proper and specific sign out allowed me to feel more confident that I know what was going to happen when I wasn't there. And when I came back receiving sign out from them with specific questions that I prepared in advance, with specific things that I wanted to follow up, made me more confident, made me more comfortable trusting my patients to others. And this is a structure I like to keep with me, that even if it's difficult for me to give my patients to others when I'm not there, at least I know what I'm giving to my peers and what I'm expecting to get from them. And why is this important and why this could be a great weakness for you to mention is because all of us, right? All of us that have worked or practiced medicine, not in the United States, but in other countries, when we work in the inpatient setting, we have to give sign out. Sign out means that, let's say you have 5 patients. You have 5 patients today. You were working in the inpatient ward of your hospital, and you have 5 patients. So when the person that's going to relieve you and stay overnight with your patients comes, you just have to tell them, hey, I have these 5 patients. One of them is Mr. Munoz with diabetes, and his glucose levels have been doing well through the day. Now tonight, I want you to follow up on the CT scan of the abdomen and his glucose levels. And my second patient is Mr. Espinosa. He's here with hypertension emergency. We are following up on his troponins. The second one was slightly elevated, so if the third one is elevated, call cardiology to have an examination, and therefore. And then when you come back, you receive sign out from that person that tells you, hey, your patient Munoz overnight, he had a CT scan of the abdomen that was negative for any acute pathologies. His glucose levels stayed good, below 150, and he slept well through the night. Oh, okay, that's good. But your patient 2, he had a rapid response, and we had to go to bedside, and his troponin was very elevated. Cardiology came, put him on a heparin drip, and took him to the cath lab for an NSTEMI. And you, wow, all that happened. Now you're ready to work. See how important sign out is very important. Trusting is a difficult thing. Now, as we said, the weakness thing on this answer can be something that's still ongoing, but you're working on it and you have a structure. And now the way you presented this answer makes me think, wow, this guy not only knows that signing out patients is very important, crucial during residency, but now he has a structure. He knows what to do. He knows that providing a specific sign out is important, and he knows that receiving a great sign out is important for him too. This is a guy that's ready to work. Okay. And what are you bringing to the program? The second part, what are you bringing to the program? So for this is the part that you have to, the opportunity that you have to sell yourself. And unfortunately, we don't have that much time during the interview. So try to think about this. In medicine, there's 3 qualities that make a physician a great physician: the ability to be a physician, the ability to be, or the ability to find time to be a researcher, and the ability to, or the skills to make a great mentor. So physician, researcher, mentor. Those are the 3 greatest qualities of a big time physician. Now, not all of them make it. Why? Because to be a mentor, you have to be a person that is patient and understanding of people. Not everyone does that. To be a researcher, you have to try to find time to do anything research-like. And research-like doesn't mean only experimental research. In residency, in community programs, it means being able to do grand rounds, being able to do weekly presentations, being able to do case reports, which are the easiest thing, but no one wants to do it because it takes time. So, and be willing to take your work to a regional competition where you represent your residency program, and people are all happy that you go there. But believe me, till today, no, not many people volunteer to do this thing. So when we hear that someone can be that person, then we feel like, oh, okay, this person is the guy we're looking for. Okay, so how you present this answer, right? What are you bringing to the program? Well, Dr. Munoz, what I'm bringing to your program is I am a great physician. I have my biggest strength is to do a great history and physical examination. And I think that that's the beginning of how we start treating a patient. I spend so much time getting to know my patients to the deepest and finding out possible barriers that can impede us to deliver great care. And I also have a big interest on participating on scholar activities. I look forward to see interesting cases where I can maybe create a case report, maybe do a big grand round presentation, and also teach others to do it. And by saying that, I mean that I'm also a mentor. I like to develop skills on becoming a big mentor to other students or to my junior residents. I'm very interested in learning how to provide feedback, meaningful feedback that can shape my students. Okay, so let's examine this. So we said the physician part. We said that your biggest strength is to do a great physical and history, and you spend a lot of time investigating your patient's life and what are the barriers to be healthy. This has to do with the social determinants of health. Why? Because you are trying to determine where this patient lives, who does he live with, who does he work with, does he work, is he homeless, does he has money or not. So all these pieces of information, not many do it. So if you say that you know how to do it, that's a big point for you. The second one is the research part. As I said, not necessarily experimental, but participating on creating grand rounds, scholar activities such as case reports, big time for us. And mentoring, I mentioned feedback. Why? Because feedback is something that residency programs are still working on. And if you say that your goal is to learn how to provide meaningful feedback to students or to junior residents, you're coming ahead of 50 people that interview in that season, because not everyone puts interest on these little things. Okay, next topic is investigating or doing some research on your attendings, the ones that are going to possibly interview you. So a lot of the program directors can have a specialty, subspecialty. Like some of the program directors can be critical care doctors, can be GI doctors, cardiologists, sleep medicine board certified doctors. So you have to look at what is important on each of these specialties, so you can have that talk in case they ask you, or if you want to gear your conversation towards things that can appeal to them. Like for example, if I'm a cardiologist and during your conversation you bring up the fact that for you prevention of cardiovascular disease through taking care of diabetes, hypertension, obesity is important for you because you want to prevent the development of cardiovascular disease, then you're on my field. I'm feeling you. Okay, and let's say your attending or your interviewer is a critical care doctor. What does critical care doctor people look for? They are people that works at a faster pace. They are people that save life at the moment. And so you could say that I'm a person that works well under stress. Pressure makes me work harder, and you feel comfortable doing central lines or these little procedures or intubations already that you learn in your country. And if the attending is a sleep medicine doctor, what is in sleep medicine? And you have to know this, a lot of critical care doctors are sleep medicine certified. Why? Because it's very easy for them, once they get into pulmonology, it's very easy for them to get the critical care certification and the sleep medicine certification. So a lot of them are going to be sleep medicine trained too, and that just means that they can do sleep studies. And with the sleep studies, the biggest thing in primary care is obstructive sleep apnea. We send all our patients from the hospital to see a sleep medicine doctor to determine if they have a sleep apnea or not. Why? Because with that, we can obtain a CPAP or a BiPAP. A primary care doctor cannot do a sleep study and recommend a BiPAP or a CPAP. Why? Because they don't have that training. But a sleep specialist can do. And obstructive sleep apnea gets in the way of making hypertension, diabetes, hyperlipidemia worse, and also cardiovascular or coronary artery disease gets worse with untreated obstructive sleep apnea. Okay, so it's something like that. You have to know what is the angle so you can create yours. That's it. That's all we talk about during the second meeting. There will be another meeting next week, and if you can join, that will be great. If you're looking for one-to-one discussions or preparation, send me an inbox message and we can see if we can have some time for a one-to-one. The cost of this remains $125, and I'm looking forward to meet more people through this. Bye.